You guys, this connection here is not good. Is anybody still hanging on? If so, I appreciate you. I don't know what happened. That was so weird. Just randomly stopped. I'm afraid I may have lost my video because it would never let me post it. So, if you get back on, here's what I'm going to do with the Posh Chalk Gold. I'm going to take this brush and I'm just going to hold it flat and go along the edge right here. Hey, Micheline, thank you for coming back, sweet friend. I don't know what happened. We're in a hotel, so who knows? Took me a long time to get back on. All right, so I'm just taking this brush, putting the Posh Chalk pigment on it, and I'm trying to lay my brush flat. If a little bit of it goes over the side of the napkin, that's okay. But look how pretty. It just kind of makes it stand out a little bit. Let me hold y'all down. I was frozen. I know. We don't know what happened. Just lost internet. I hope my video didn't disappear from before, but you never know. Okay, so I'm just going around the edge of this to give it a little oomph, which if we use a trim, that oomph may not even show on here. But I wanted to show y'all the gold Posh Chalk pigment because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The color is just so vibrant and rich.
In case somebody watches the replay and don't see the first one, why don't you go over again what you're doing?
Okay, so I'm making Valentine hang tags. Ronnie cut the tags for me out of wood, and I got a book of vintage looking Valentine postcards that I want to put on my Valentine tree. Probably will have too many of them, but that's okay. Better too many than too little. Maybe can use some for gifts. So I have taken the postcards and cut them out, the ones I liked, and glue them to one of these hang tags. And then on some of them, I actually have put some trim. On the last one I just did on my live, I did not put a trim. Let me put some up here now. You'll be able to see it a lot better on this.
Kimberly said she bought some of the pigments in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I love them. Now it's not showing up too good on this white right here. But if you get it over the edges, it does wipe off very well.
Micheline said your video's on your page, so don't worry.
Good, 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 good. Thank you, Micheline. Yeah, that was weird. So it's probably going to take 2 or 3 coats to cover up this white. But I wanted to kind of put a little bit of it around this edge right here that was showing of the board, because the postcard doesn't quite cover totally this board. And it's not stuck down totally either, so I need to use some hot glue on it. I just don't like any raw edges showing, because that's just the, I don't know, perfectionist in me, I guess.
Attention to detail.
Attention to detail. There you go. Okay. So, what suggestions do y'all have for trim?
Micheline says she loves making tags. Gail taught me how to make my very first ones.
Who did?
Gail, G-A-Y-L-E.
Gail Richards? I bet it is Gail Richards. They both live in Phoenix. Or I mean Scottsdale.
Kim Skills is back on again.
Thank you,
Welcome
Kim.
back, Kim.
Okay.
We lost the connection there earlier. Sorry about that.
So, you know what? I want to swipe the comments away so that I can see what you guys are saying. Okay. So, it's still going to take a couple more coats up here to satisfy me. I also have my Totally Dazzle Bling that I could put on any of these. But I'm thinking that we need some kind of trim. And this one we may want to use some lace on. Let me put the top on this gold Posh Chalk pigment. Let me think. Plus we don't have enough plugs in here, so I'm having to switch out between my glue
device
tool and the hair dryer. I must have the glue tool in there. Okay, now I do have a little package that has some of the gold Robert Stanley, if I have enough. I don't know that I have enough. I might, if I, yeah, I do. So we could put 1 or 2 rows of the Robert Stanley bling, probably just 1, because it'll cover up the words if we don't. So we could outline this with 1 row of Robert Stanley bling, or don't need the black bling. Again, I have this lace trim. I think it's got, this one's got to have something on it. But I really don't.
Oh, Lori wants to know if you're left-handed.
No, I'm not. I turned my camera so y'all could read. There's a little bit of what the lace trim would look like.
She said, yes, Gail Richards. She lives close to me.
Oh, love her so much. I have another lace trim here.
Sharon Berries Halverson is watching.
Hey, Sharon, my sweet friend. Yes, I do.
Welcome. And Micheline says, I love watching your video, Lisa, especially when you're making tags.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Micheline. Okay, so I could just trim it with lace, like a lace ribbon. I think that kind of gets lost in it. I'm thinking that I might like the Robert Stanley. What do y'all think? I think just a single row of Robert Stanley bling might be just what the doctor ordered. Might even have enough right here. Let's put a little bit on and see. I can always pull it back off if we don't like it. All right, so I'm gonna start right here and try to put just a thin line. Can they see what I'm doing?
Except for, yes, they can.
It's hard.
It's hard with the comments because you're right where the comments are if you're watching comments, but they can take comments off.
It's hard to put just a little bit of glue down.
Why don't you turn the camera down a little bit more? You don't need
Okay,
to.
I can't right now, but I
You're
will
busy
in
with
just
the
a
hot
minute.
stuff.
I'm busy with the hot stuff. And I do have finger protectors with me.
You do, huh?
I sure do,
is.
right here.
I may be too far down. We'll see.
I'll push it back some, they can see better. Now. All right, let me get these finger protectors on.
Those are pretty.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite color.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your finger cots, she said.
On my fingers.
Just in time.
On my fingers.
Especially doing a single row, it's easy to glue your fingers.
Yes, it is. Better put this one on my thumb too. Okay. Then, and I could cut it off each time and then start another row, but I don't have a problem just bending it around like this and bringing it on down. I think that's fine. And if I get too much glue on here, I can just scrape some off with my scissors.
Sharon Halverson loves that picture.
Isn't that so sweet, Sharon? I just love these little antique Valentine cards. I think they're precious.
We were very lucky to find that whole book full of them.
Yes, I had started a file folder on my computer and I was trying to find free vintage cards that you could download, and so then I was just going to print them on rice paper myself. And we went in that antique store, and I walked over and found a book. I think the book was $10. And I told Rodney, I said, I would probably use that much ink trying to print all these off. So I just, and I'm not even gonna make the whole book. I'm just making some from the book. Okay, let's do this bottom part. I need to not try to do the whole row across because it's drying before I can get to the other end.
Are you plugged up?
I am plugged up.
Looks good from here.
Thank you. Is Jody still on here, or does she come back? Have you seen her?
Jody came back on since you restarted.
Okay. Yeah, I think this Robert Stanley bling is what it needed, just to kind of give it a little punch of something.
We used a lot of that.
A lot of crafters use a lot of Robert Stanley. Right, ladies? And gentlemen, if gentlemen are on here. It's kind of hard with just a single row to keep it turned over too.
Sharon says, I have my old scrapbook, the leather kind, with all of my vintage cards in it. I should copy those.
Yes, you should. And you know what I have, Sharon? I started to bring some of this with me, and I didn't. I'm not getting this on here very straight either. I have some old scrapbooks that were my grandmother's.
Hey, Barbara, thanks for getting back on after we dropped out earlier.
Yes, Barbara. Thank you, sweet friend. Old scrapbooks of my grandmother's with letters that she wrote to guys that she was dating, or cards they gave her. Y'all, she saved everything in those scrapbooks. Now listen, some of these go back to like 30s and the 40s. There are two of them have cigarette butts from a cigarette she smoked at some point in her young years, I guess. She had dried flowers, like roses in there. You cannot believe it. And the handwriting was unbelievable. It was beautiful. And the way the things were stated, I don't know. I was fascinated when I found them in my mother's garage. And she told me I could have them. And I feel like I almost need to take them apart and try to do something to preserve them. But they're so cool being in those old pages in the scrapbook.
Remember that box of like baby clothes and stuff that I found that
Yes.
brought you?
Yes. So Ronnie found this box in our basement. And I gotta take these off. I can't work with them. That had old infant, like young baby infant clothes and shoes. And they had been in my mother's basement for so long, the rats had gotten into them and chewed pieces in some of the things into pieces. But some of them were still intact. Some of them were pretty stained too. But I'm guessing they were my dad's. I don't know. But I'm kind of guessing they were my dad's. Okay.
Sharon says, if you ever want to invest in a printer, get a laser color black and white printer. Since it is toner, everything is here, set printing, and doesn't run.
Heat set printing, probably.
Heat set printing. Yeah, and they'll go forever on the cartridge, but then they are expensive when you have to replace a cartridge.
Yeah, they are. I would love to have a
Sharon
laser
says
printer.
that's hysterical, but I think she's talking about an earlier comment.
Yeah, about the okay. I'm not gonna fix this while y'all are on here. It's crooked. But I think that Robert Stanley's what it needed, and I'll probably put a row back here too. So until I get this fixed, I'm not going to wax this, but I do need to straighten it up a little bit. So let's review. We have this one. This is the front. This is the back. I might even use some stickles in the center of this, or to go around the little lacy edge, some gold stickles around each part of the flower. I might do that. Then we have this one. That's the front.
What are all the euphemisms
This is the
for
back.
sending this out to other people?
Sprinkle the love,
Sprinkle.
spread the joy.
All those things.
SHARE to
It
your
gets a lot of
pages
people
and
watching.
other
I like that one
pages.
the best, really. That black one
You
with
do?
the checks. The front side, especially with the red heart.
Okay, so these are the 4 we have so far. This is a little vintage Valentine card I found somewhere a long time ago. Look, isn't that cute? I think that's what made me start thinking about vintage, was this.
We
So,
can't read it because it's backwards.
like I said, oh, I didn't turn my camera this time. Sorry. I will use either one of these little ropes to put through them to hang them with, or I got some of these the other day. I thought the teal might look pretty on
Sharon says she has a black and white
This
laser
one.
cartridge printer, and she gets the cartridges cheap.
Do you?
Micheline Gilmore says, yes, stickles would look nice too. Sharon says, she's so cute. Micheline says, sweet, love them all. Sharon says, I missed the first part. What are those mounted to?
Okay, they're mounted to these little cards that Rodney cut out for me,
A very thin plywood, 1/8
like this. And I've just gone through and base coated all of them in white. You can see this side's kind of rough looking, and this side's more smooth. So, and this last card you were asking me about says a heart-to-heart wish on Valentine's Day. Isn't that sweet? Now this book, if y'all want to try to find it, maybe online, it's called Valentine Postcard Book. You know what? I'm gonna turn the camera again so y'all can take a screenshot if you want to. Okay. Valentine Postcard Book. You can screenshot that if you want to.
Thank you, Sharon. She said, good job, Rodney, cutting those out.
Darling and Company in Seattle is who made it. Darling and Company.
Give them time to get this screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
Micheline says, hi there, pretty lady, but I think she's talking to...
And if you want the ISBN number, I'm going to give it to you right now. It is 139-1-59583-007-4.
I want you to just hold that barcode up to the camera, just the barcode itself, and they can screenshot that if they choose to.
I can't get it. Okay.
Give them a few minutes.
Darling and Company. Okay, Rodney, can you hand me that big board right there that you're going to fix the things on? This is what I'm planning on doing Thursday, depending on where Rodney and I are in the universe. This is a board originally from TJ Maxx for $14.99. I got it for $3.99 at Goodwill. And you can hang pictures. It's by Burns of Boston. You can hang pictures, some of these little vintage cards on it or whatever. I'm planning on base coating it white. Even though it's already white, I'll probably put another coat because it looks like it's got some kind of a wax on it. I'll base coat it white, and then I think what I'm going to do, not positive, but I think what I'm going to do is to either not check, but like a diamond pattern, at least this section up here, black and white check, and then, do you see that pack of red hearts right here in this box? I've got these red hearts
3D
that I plan to use inside of the black and white checks. And then I also have this crushed glass in the color Terrazzo Red Flat. I'm thinking about trying to figure out how to incorporate that. So that's my plan for Thursday. At this point, we'll say Thursday at 6 p.m.-ish Central Standard Time. And depending on where we are, if we're traveling, I'll let you know if the time is going to change. But until then, that's what I plan on doing. So I appreciate each one of you coming on tonight, and appreciate those who came back after we lost internet reception. And I hope you have a great evening. Let me just say a quick prayer before we go. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for safety as we've been traveling. Thank you for changing of seasons, and I pray you'll protect each and every person who's been on these lives, and in our family and friend circle, Lord, from anything that would harm them. I pray that people who need you to touch them physically will receive a blessing from you. And I pray that everything that we say and do will honor and glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen. Have a great night, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. I love you. Go out and bless somebody. Bye.